Why do some kids die young? It feels so unfair and so wrong, and it really makes us question so much of what we believe. And today I have an insight for you. It comes from the Seth material. This is a channeled session that Jane Roberts did in 1967 on December 28th. So, in a ESP class that was led by Jane Roberts, who channels Seth, there was a woman called Andrea Berger, and her adopted son had died in a drowning accident the previous summer. And so what follows is Seth's explanation, which involves reincarnation and the lesson learned. And it's really profound. So here we go. In a previous life, he was your son by blood. He died in that life in an accident. He came back to tell you there was no death. You would not listen, hear, or believe. This time he came back and was a son to you. You knew him again under circumstances highly similar. This time you're listening. He came to tell you there was no death. You have been led here. You are to develop your abilities. This was his last reincarnation. He chose to stay here to tell you. You had too little faith in him. You have been given a privilege and gift. He came back under his own free will to teach you. Without his knowledge, you could not progress. Without this knowledge, you could not progress in the way you are now. He's teaching you. Teach you love, he would not die. Without this knowledge, you would not progress. Consciousness of this boy is indeed alive. Work in this life is completed. Reincarnational cycle is completed. Had the boy continued, there would have been complications, marriage and children for his own nature. Main purpose in this life was with you, for you had been his mother. Death was instantaneous. There was some recognition on your part. The boy knew this and understood it. There was in past life connection with your brother. He was also connected with you and the boy. The brother in this life was the blood father, as you were blood mother in that previous life. The boy's first love and purpose involved you. He knew only he could teach you this lesson and no one else whose death would affect you so strongly. Okay, so in the past life, he also died by water. Subconsciously, you knew this. There was a girl in that past life. He also knew her in this life. There was an afternoon in this life between 4 and 5 years old, and this child visited with her parents. She also will die young, and will not reach adulthood. She was his wife in the past life when he died at 32. This involved a shipwreck. Now, the manner of death is no coincidence, it is a choice. Some of the boy's friends and acquaintances and neighbors died in this same manner. They were the crew in a ship that sank off the coast of Spain. They were not frightened of water. They trusted water. If it led on occasion to death, it also led to adventure. Death by water in those days was an honor. Death by land was a disgrace. They considered water mother of all earth. He did. He would not want to die by land. He chose to leave when he did, when you would miss him most and question most, for the question would lead you to find answers. He played the harmonica as a sailor, love of music at first, the result of long days at sea. And this is now Seth's comment. I have no particular love for water, so I cannot explain its meaning for him. To him, it meant release and freedom. This time, he's truly free, for he feels you understand. It is important you understand what lies behind his message and concern. So this was the passage I wanted to share with you. It's really profound. It speaks to death having a deeper meaning, not just for the person who passes away, but for those around him who are most affected. And so it really leaves us saying, whenever we hear news of a young person dying, saying, I have no idea. I know there is meaning and purpose to it, but I really don't know the bigger soul's journey of this soul. And what is this soul learning through this manner of death and through this experience, but also what is this soul teaching everybody around? It's so interesting how in this section there was also a highlight of death by land and versus water. And so even the way we die actually has meaning and creates a message. It means something. And so I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And if you would like to experience your past lives and to understand your sorrows, your grief, you losing people who are dear to you, to understand the connections in other lifetimes with them, reach out to me so that we can do a past life regression together. I love you and I look forward to your comments and thoughts.